I went to his page and I saw the memes he's posted, and then he started saying real goofy shit. I was like, yeah, it's obviously true.
Yeah, that guy's just
he said racism.
That guy was funny. He shouldn't have get good.
That guy was ontologically obnoxious.
He said saying fuck was bad.
Yeah.
Multiple things.
He had to deliberate on whether cussing was worse than like braining an animal.
Well, both are wrong.
Yeah, and I was like, wait, I was about to reductio the shit out of him.
That guy's funny, man.
You made a good point of what meat does come from a cow. Is it chicken?
Yeah, that's what I said. Once he said what meat comes from a cow, I was like, okay, well, it's obvious now.
Are you guys like actually vegans?
No.
What do you mean by actually vegan? Do you mean vegan?
Like, are you like doing it like in sarcasm or?
No, we're like, if you're asking if we actually are morally superior than you, then yeah, we are.
Yeah, we are better than you, yes. Holier than thou, you could say.
Well, I mean, that's your perception of it.
Yeah, sure. Just like everything else in life.
So you're better than us because you're unalive and innocent being?
I never said I was better than you, but I mean, I can
I
think
grant
that I'm
that.
better than you. That's an opinion, right?
Yeah, but
you know what's
my claim is that whatever ethical or moral framework you hold to right now would commit you to being vegan yourself. That's my claim.
Yeah, but I mean, I would rather follow like the moral hierarchy. So like,
what's the moral hierarchy?
Prioritize the law.
Prioritize the law.
Yeah, so in the moral hierarchy, hurting a human is worse than hurting an animal.
True.
Oh, okay, alright, so if it's legal to just go pew a random human being in the head, you'd be alright if I did it to your grandmother, right? Because it's just...
Do you think it's worse to unalive a baby or a grandma?
Definitely it would be worse if it was
I guess most people would say a baby because it has more future, right?
Okay, well then from now on, I do not care about grandmas getting unalive.
That's true, because according to your standard, as long as something's worse, the bad thing you're doing isn't that bad.
Yeah, why not? You said that unaliving a person or hurting a person is worse than an animal, therefore you don't care. And hurting a baby.
Your argument was that I didn't care about grandmas being killed just because I will choose a baby. That's the same argument as saying I don't like chicken just because I choose meat. Like
all I did was give you back what you said to you.
So because if I choose beef between chicken and beef, does that mean I hate chicken then?
Wait, just for like already just like 1 minute and for you having live debates and information in your name, you're really doing terrible.
How am I doing terrible?
Just wanted to let you know.
Well, so
a complete
useless
argument.
If I can elicit why I think that you're not really doing as well. I think that you may be good eventually, but I think well, I'll just say it. Okay, you said right. Hurting humans is worse than hurting animals, right? Would you agree? Let's just say hurting humans is worse than hurting mammals. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think hurting humans is worse than hurting animals.
I agree. Yes. Do you think that hurting mammals is worse than hurting insects?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I think most people agrees with that in their moral compass.
Yeah, you should just eat insects then.
I'm sure even vegans agree with that. Like
I agree with that.
A lot of insects.
I agree with that. But if the argument that you're trying to make is because it's preferable, right, to unalive animals instead of humans, then and we agree that if A implies B and B implies C, then A implies C, then you would just be committed to only eating insects to sustain yourself.
I mean,
I never said that because you can't compare a diet.
Oh, so this looks natural to you, right? This is like quite nice, isn't it? This is a nice way for an animal to go out, isn't it? Just asking you a question here.
It's pretty poor living conditions. I agree with that.
Oh yeah, so we should keep supporting it, right? Because it's just a natural way to do it.
Well, I mean, I would rather. I mean, when I grow up, I would probably go and hunt for the food myself. It's probably more
yeah, okay, right. Nobody cares about your virtue signaling. Obviously, we would rather people hunt than support factory farming, but obviously we would have people be vegan rather than hunt, right? You're the one who brought up the scale of suffering, and then you appeal to hunting.
I don't think hunting is
Who cares?
That's bad though.
Who cares,
Because
though?
other animals
Wait,
do it
but do
too.
you hunt? Do you
So
hunt?
why can't
Do you
humans
hunt? Do you hunt? Do you hunt?
No.
Okay, shut the fuck up then. Shut the fuck up, right? Shut the fuck up, then, right?
Well,
Yeah. So
I live in a big city.
question is gonna
It's
be-
very hard to hunt
the question is going to be, what moral justification do you have to take the life of something that doesn't want to die when you don't have to do that?
it. What moral
The
justification?
question, the question is going to be, what
That's
moral?
Stop interrupting with your
Yeah, stop interrupting, idiot. Sorry.
yeah, professional debater, by the way. Yeah.
You're not a professional debater.
Yeah. So the question is going to
You're
be.
just talking about my
The question is going
bio
to be,
and saying I'm a bad
since
debater
you're
because
dodging, hey
you're
slow boy, hey
interrupting
slow
like a
boy, hey slow boy,
5-year-old.
lock in, you're geeked right now, okay? Yeah, so pay attention. The question is going to be,
just because you
hey
have
slow
different
boy,
point of view
lock
doesn't
in,
mean
lock
attack
in, bro,
like
you're
5-year-old.
geeked, lock in. All right, the question is going to be, what moral justification do you have to take the life of something that doesn't want to die when you don't have to do that?
The same moral justification as an animal that hunts for food as well, or eats meat in general.
Are you saying you have the moral reasoning capacities of a lion? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well, why should I be discriminated by not having the same
Do you think
rights
that
to
lions
eat
are
meat
moral
just
agents?
like other animals? Doesn't vegans want
Hey, slow boy, answer my
non-discriminations
question. Do you think
between
lions are
animals?
moral agents?
What do you say?
Do you think lions are making a moral decision when they kill a gazelle?
So a lot
Answer the
of vegans
question.
talk about
There's a question on the
necessity.
table you're not answering.
Well, they have a similar moral understanding.
Oh, they do.
as-
They're moral
Well,
agents?
hold on. If I
So,
could
so do you
just,
think babies can eat meat then?
if I could give you an example, let's say there's a store selling food, and you have a hungry cat, and that cat walks by that store, it smells some food, and it yanks something, runs off with it, right? And then let's say that I walk back by that store, and then I grab some food and run off with it. What is the difference between those two things?
That's a different thing because you're stealing from a store. That's
Is the
against
cat
law.
stealing?
Yeah, I mean he's also stealing.
Okay, so is the cat morally responsible for stealing?
Wait, he just said it, Doug. Let me, please, I beg you. So you've just said the issue is not who's done it; it's you've stolen from the store. You agree with that?
Yeah,
Zach?
exactly. We shouldn't allow animals to steal from the store either.
Okay, so let's
Then
say
we would
the
lose
base
money.
issue is stealing from the store. So in this example, the base issue is ending a life. Do you now understand it? So if the base issue is
Yeah.
ending
So
a
why?
life,
So
it doesn't
why?
matter
So
who's
just
doing it,
because
that's
the
issue.
lion has a worse understanding, do you think it?
Well, let John Bucket finish it.
So now you're saying that the lion has understanding. Because before you were saying they don't have understanding. Now you're saying the lion has an understanding. So does an animal have an
He said
understanding of
he
how
said
actions or not?
they didn't have an understanding in comparison to us.
I asked
He said
you
they
whether
didn't
lions were
experience
moral
moral
agents.
values.
You said that because the question was
No, he said that.
No, I think he didn't say that. I asked him if lions were moral
All right,
agents.
so then you agree that we have the same moral values as lions, then, which is
No, of course I don't.
Just
Well, then
in my
you're
example,
contradicting yourself. Then
would
No,
you
of course I'm
hold
not.
me and the cat to
Do you
the
even
same
know-
standard?
You're a slow boy.
Would
Bro,
you
you
hold me
literally
and the
said
cat to the
two
same
you're-
different
standard?
yeah.
contradictions against yourself.
Yeah,
Well,
how?
hey,
Oh, yeah,
under a
listen.
minute.
Okay, then lock in, bro. How is me asking you a question a fucking contradiction? Derive it.
You said a lion.
This better be a
does
P and
have
not
the
P.
same moral values as a human being.
One.
Say they don't understand
Zaka, are you saying that
moral
one proposition is a contradiction? I'm sorry, slow boy. Can you try again?
First time you said a lion don't have the same morals as humans.
Didn't
Then
say
you
that.
changed your argument
Didn't
and
say
said,
that.
"No, I never said that."
Didn't say that. Ask you that. I asked you, and I'll quote myself. Right? Are lions moral agents? Right? Because obviously, if I want to attack your position, I gotta know what it is. So I gotta know if you think if a lion can make morally informed decisions or
Well,
not.
then I'll ask you, what do you think? Because I've already said.
Yeah, I don't
I
think
think-
lions are moral agents.
Exactly. So then you agree.
Oh, so you
Okay.
wait. So you also don't think lions are
But
moral
that
agents?
doesn't justify it.
Wait, Zaka, there's a question on the table.
Do you think
There's a question on the
psychopath
table.
that
You're
doesn't
you're
know that
avoiding
killing is
clarity.
wrong
You're
is-
avoiding
does that mean
clarity.
it's right?
You're avoiding clarity right now. Do you
Alright,
also
so, okay,
do you
okay.
also
Can you-
do you
can you
also
let me
do you
speak?
also think that lions are not moral agents?
What do you say?
I said, do you also think that lions are not moral agents?
No, I don't think they don't have the same understanding of morals as we humans do.
Cool. And I would even argue that they don't have an understanding of morals because that's a metaphysically robust concept, right?
All right, so let me bring you
Wait,
into a
wait,
new
wait, wait. I'm
argument.
about to
No,
land. I'm
what-
about to
wait,
land.
why
I'm
are
about to
you-
land. You're avoiding clarity, right? Look.
How am I?
Yeah, because I'll show you. Just
you're
give
letting me
15 more seconds and then it's your turn. You said you have the same reasons that a lion does, and then we both agreed that lions have no reasons, right? They do it for instinct, right? They do it for not moral reasons, right?
Okay, I can't even answer because he keeps muting me.
Oh, I thought he wasn't done here, my bad.
So, yeah, a lion does it for survival, but that doesn't mean it's right. Just like a psychopath kills because he doesn't know it's right or wrong because they don't understand. They don't have the same understanding of morals as people that are non-psychopaths. They don't have their compassion,
Cool.
guilt.
Yeah, so
exactly.
when,
Do you think it's right that a psychopath kills people for no reason?
no, I don't know about what you said about the lion. You said that a lion kills
But do
for.
you think
Wait,
it's right,
sorry.
yes or
My
no?
question. You're interrupting me. My question was when you said that a lion kills for survival. Would you agree that you said that, and that you said that you have the same reasons as a lion does?
Yeah, because I killed to eat it.
Yeah, for survival,
Or
right?
I supplied the demand. Yes, I don't kill
Zaka,
it
for
myself.
survival, right?
Yeah, I eat.
Okay,
I eat
and
it
do
to
we
survive.
agree? Do we agree that you don't need to eat animals to survive? Do we agree?
Yeah, and I have a choice.
All right, then
I
my
can choose
question
what to
again,
do.
slow boy, is
It's
gonna
not
be the
against
original
law.
question, right? And
No,
that
why
question
are you
is what
evading my
moral?
question?
Sorry.
Why are you evading my question? I've answered all of
Yeah,
yours.
so the question is, I'm proving to you that you're a waste of time because my question is, since you
Oh,
said,
you're
wait,
literally
sorry,
evading my question.
your characterizations aside, you said that lions do it for survival, you do it for the same reasons as lions, then admitted that you don't need to do it for survival. So my question is the original question: what moral justification do you have to take the life of something that doesn't want to die when you've already admitted you don't have to?
Yes, I don't take the life. I supply the demand. Yes, but
Yeah, support the taking of life.
yes,
Yeah.
phrasing. But yeah.
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah. Do you think
so-
lions simply support the taking of life? Obviously not, slow boy, right? So try and keep up. Lock in.
Well, yeah, they do because they
Oh, you think they support
Kill
it,
animals.
right? You think they're leaning on each other emotionally,
they
right?
support it. They won't do
Oh,
it.
you think they vote for it with their dollar like you, slow boy?
How will they
You're
vote
geeked
for it
right
if
now.
They don't have.
You're
if they're not
geeked.
included in the society.
Yeah, just do lions
making
have
useless
a socioeconomically robust sense of supply and demand, you slow boy?
Exactly. So that contradicts.
Yeah, so when you
yourself.
said you had the same
Contradicting
reason as a
yourself.
lion, you misspoke,
Are you
right?
gonna invade my question, or are you gonna answer it?
Yeah, I'll answer it. Go ahead.
Yeah. So do you think
Thank
it's
you,
right for
but
a
wait, real
psychopath
quick
to
before
kill
I do,
people
I
for
just
no
want
reason?
to thank you for demonstrating to the class that you're a bad reasoner. Go ahead.
All right. So do you think it's right for psychopaths to kill people for no reason?
I don't think it's right for anybody to kill anybody for no reason. Obviously, it's baked
Right,
into
so
it's.
do you think
And
it's
actually, I would
right for a
argue.
beard
Sorry,
to
I wasn't done
torture
answering your
and kill
question.
animals for no
I would
reason?
argue that it's analytically true that killing somebody for no reason is wrong, implying no reason.
All
There.
right.
Yeah.
So then, do you think that a bear killing or torturing animals for fun is right?
Yeah, I don't think the bear doing it is a moral agent doing moral actions. I think suffering is bad, and if the animal is suffering, then the suffering is bad, regardless of whatever agent is purporting it.
But do you think it's right or wrong?
I think suffering is wrong. I don't think the bear is wrong for doing it. Right?
Okay, but then why do you think the psychopath is wrong? They both have a bad understanding of morals.
Yeah, and if we could stop the suffering, we should. Right?
Exactly. So why don't you
Yeah. So
think
do
what
you
the bear is
wait?
saying is wrong?
Okay, so in the case that a psychopath is about to unalive somebody, do you think that you should do things if you have the power to stop it, to stop the suffering?
Yeah. So why
Okay,
don't
do you do that in the
think
case
you
with
should
animal
stop
suffering?
bears then?
Do you do that in the case with animal suffering?
Why don't you think you should stop bears?
Oh,
then?
there's a question on the table, right? You agreed that you would stop the suffering that a psychopath would enact, right? And I asked if you do the same thing in the case of animal suffering.
I never said I would stop it. I'm not a police officer.
Oh, you wouldn't stop a psychopath
but I
from
think
you
both are
wouldn't
wrong.
stop a psychopath from
This is
exacting
not
a
necessity
series of
for both,
murders?
right?
Sorry, Zach,
Is it a necessity for a bear to torture animals for fun?
Obviously not.
Yeah, so then it's wrong. Right? How do you not agree with that's wrong?
Zach, I've got slow boy. I've got a question.
You're discriminating
Would you eat a
between
dog?
humans and animals, then,
Zach,
which
I've
is
got a
against the
question.
veganism
Would you eat
No,
a
it's
dog,
not.
Zach?
ideology. Yeah.
Zach, would you eat a dog? Would you eat a dog?
No, because I don't include dogs in my diet. But I know
Why
some
wouldn't you eat a
cultures
dog?
do,
Why
yes.
wouldn't you eat a dog? Why wouldn't you eat a
Yo,
dog?
wait, host.
Because
Bro,
it's
bro
not-
just said
it's-
I don't
it's-
eat dogs.
It's illegal in my country.
Bro just said I
bro.
don't eat dogs because I don't eat dogs. Yeah, thanks for tautologizing, slow boy.
No, I said I don't eat dogs.
Because they're not in my
it's not
diet,
in my
aka you don't
culture,
eat them?
and it's
Yeah, thanks,
illegal
slow
in my
boy.
country.
How
How is that not a logical
It's a
answer?
tautology, dumbass. That's what we're saying. It's not informative, it's trivial.
If you can't even understand
Give up,
that
slow boy.
answer, then I mean, you should go and get a checkup, bro. Honestly.
Look, if you ask me why I don't eat humans and I said because it's not a part of my diet, is that informative? Of course not, dumbass, right? Of course not, dumbass, right?
Clear for you because you try and make me look bad every time you try.
Yeah,
You know,
and
you try
it's
so
some would say
much.
it's a futile effort because you
Whatever
look bad
can,
without
but
even
you can-
trying.
If that's all your arguments are based on, you trying to make fun of me and you trying to make me look bad. I mean, sure, go
You
ahead.
think that
Anyway,
you
so
need
if
you
you're
think
gonna
that you
promote
need
some
me
actual-
in order to look bad? You look
Yeah,
bad on your
make
own.
some objective arguments instead of just using
Yeah,
your
but it's a live
subjective
debate,
experience
you
and
fucking
insulting your
terrible
opponents. I mean,
debates,
that's not really professional.
What's
is it?
what?
You're
Wait,
absolutely shocking at debates.
So yeah, I answered your question. I don't eat dogs in my country, but because it's illegal, yeah.
Oh, but if it was legal,
And I
would
see
you?
them as companions.
Oh, okay. So if you didn't, would you?
I could probably try it. I mean, if it
Cool.
was
So let's say it was legal to eat
it
humans
was
and you didn't
actually
see humans as
normalized to
companions,
eat
would
it.
you?
What do you say?
Yeah, let's say it was legal to eat humans and you didn't see humans as companions, would you?
Well, that's probably how cannibals think.
Oh, another
People that
tautology.
are
Wow, are we
included
on the
in their
tautology
tribes,
train?
They're
Wow.
probably seen as enemies, so they just eat them.
Are we on the tautology train? Wow. Are we just making logically true
Well,
statements
you know,
now instead of?
humans typically don't eat their own species, just like animals typically.
Oh,
don't
are
eat
you?
their own
Are we on
species.
the pivot plane and the tautology train? What the fuck's going on, bro? Stay linear. Yeah, lock
No,
in.
but because
You're
being
geeks.
so unlogical.
Listen.
You're asking me questions and I'm answering them.
Yeah, and you're answering them in a R-worded way, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So if you said
How
you,
does that make
yeah,
your argument?
the question is right. If it were legal and you didn't see them as companions, would you eat humans? That's the question.
No, I won't eat my own species.
Cool. Then the question is going to be now: what is it that's true of a dog that, if true of a human, would make you try it if they weren't
Dogs
companions?
aren't our species.
Okay, so if there was a group of people, let's say they zapped your whole family tree with some science gun that changed them to where they weren't able to reproduce with humans, and they're a different species, would you eat those creatures for fun?
Could you repeat that?
Yeah, let's say that we changed some, let's say like another species evolved alongside us that acted and behaved and looked everything like us, but just like a donkey or a mule or a liger, they couldn't interbreed with us, but so they were under a different genus or species, right? Let's say that those people, it was legal, and those people you didn't see as companions, would you take those people that look like humans and eat them?
No, I wouldn't
Yeah,
eat
we already have
anything
the answer
that
for
looked
that.
like
Oh,
humans.
cool. Yeah, so
'Cause I would
it's
need
not
to
the fact, so it's
figure out
not the fact that it's a different species that makes it okay. Next argument.
No, but also the looks. I mean, use like the looks on races, you know?
Oh,
example.
cool. So if something, okay, yeah,
You
so
could be white race and have black parents.
okay, so
Or black
let's
parents.
attack the looks argument right
I
now.
mean,
Let's
you should
say
do some research.
hey,
before talking.
sorry, I'm actually
You know,
not.
looks are also
I
based
think
on
you're.
races,
It's a
right?
discredit to reason to let you keep going. So I'll just interrupt you and ask
Yeah,
another question.
okay.
Yeah. So let's say
Yeah, we can-
Let's say somebody swapped your mom's conscious with a cow. Would you eat the cow?
If someone swapped my mom with a cow,
If somebody swapped your mom's conscious and a cow's conscious, would you eat the cow that had your mom's consciousness?
if I knew it was my mom, I wouldn't eat it.
Oh, so it's not the
No,
case
no,
that it's.
what-
Wait,
what
sorry,
question
sorry, Zach,
are you
sorry.
asking?
You're actually
trying to
escaping the
guilt trip me entire
criticism
time.
now.
Are you
So
gonna use any objective?
yeah, that is so.
Not using
So you
objective
said
arguments,
species. We
skill.
determined it wasn't species. Then you said looks, and we determined it wasn't looks. So what is it?
Well, if I know for a fact that it is my mom's consciousness in it, I won't eat it.
Yeah. What if you just know that it's having some sentient experience?
That will never happen anyway. So
What if we just know that it's having some sentience experience?
So yeah, I don't care if the cows have sentience experience. Just like animals don't care when eating other animals.
Yeah. Do you have
Why
moral?
don't you go and tell them the same thing?
Who's to say I don't? First of all, but.
Uh,
Oh, good one. Very rhetorical. Yeah, very rhetorical. Yeah, so the question is just going to be, right, what's the level of sentience required for you to give a fuck about a life? You're obviously pro-choice, right?
I honestly don't care as long as they're not the same species.
Oh, but we already covered that, and you said you do care if they're not the same species, right?
Yeah, I will eat anything that's legal in my country that's not human species. Yeah.
Okay, so cool. We already covered that because we said that if something looked
Yeah,
like
exactly. So that's your answer.
yeah, so we said
I
I'm
don't
saying
think
you
you
contradicted
can go
yourself,
further
slow
than
boy.
that.
I'm saying you contradict yourself again. What is this?
Yeah, slow boy.
Yeah, so this is the contradiction
You
choo-choo train.
got your whole entire
Yeah, so
answer
listen,
right
bro. You said you care about species. Then we stipulated that if somebody looked like a human but wasn't a human and it was legal, you wouldn't eat them, right? So that's a contradiction, right?
there. How is it a contradiction? You
Yeah,
said you
so
put
I'll
my
derive it.
mom's
It's the case.
consciousness
It's
into
the case
account, and if
that
I knew
species
that-
is the trait that would make me eat something, and it's not the case that species is the trait that would make me eat something. Do we get it now? That's the P and not P. That's the contradiction, right? That's the logically false statement you made.
No, I'm not contradicting myself. If
Oh,
you're
let me
saying
lay it
you
out
put
for you
my
again.
mom's
Then you're
consciousness
having
into
tracking
account, I would
problems,
still
right?
eat my mom, right?
I believe that you're not a hunter
would
now
still
because you're
eat my
having
mom,
trouble
so how's
tracking,
it a
right?
contradiction?
Yeah, I believe you're not a hunter because you're having trouble tracking the
You're
conversation,
making
right?
up something that's impossible for it to happen.
It's
So
impossible. What modality are you
it's
invoking?
just your imagination.
Yeah, what modality are you invoking to say it's
Are
impossible?
you gonna use
What
are you gonna use
modality? What
objective
modality are you
arguments?
invoking? What modality are you invoking to say it's impossible?
Are you gonna use objective arguments?
What
instead of
modality? Oh, what do you mean by
something
objective?
serious?
What do you mean by objective?
Yeah,
Yeah,
even
you're
I've
not
got me. That's a
using an
really
actual
stupid line of
objective
question.
argument.
I can't lie, mate.
You're just using your opinions and different.
What do you
moral
mean by objective?
compasses
You're dodging my
to
question.
throw on me. Like you're acting like everyone
Well,
has the same
wait, are you trying?
experience
Are you
and
trying
morals
to
as you do.
misunderstand? What do you mean by
Mate, you're dodging
objective?
his question.
Me?
I'm not gonna lie, you've given him a hypothetical that's completely ridiculous. He said it's completely ridiculous. You're now saying what module, whatever, blah, blah, would you say to say it's impossible? It is impossible.
No, it's not. What modality are you invoking to say it's impossible, dumbass?
What modality are you saying to say is it is possible?
Yeah, is it nomologically impossible, ontologically impossible, metaphysically impossible, robust? What the fuck are you saying, dumbass?
Yeah, can you prove that it is possible?
It's science.
Yeah, I can prove that's possible because there's no contradiction, dumb fuck, right?
Can you prove?
Okay,
there-
prove it's possible. Prove you can transfer your consciousness into a cow.
Yeah, because there's no contradiction entailed, and that's all it means to say something logically possible. Do we get it now?
Do you mean in
What are you
terms of
talking
your
about? That's not
soul?
what
Then?
it's not about if it's logical. He's
Hey bro,
called you
hey
out
bro,
on
hey
doing
bro,
this shit
hey bro,
hypothetical.
hey bro, hey bro. Everybody would assume that you were tracking if you didn't pipe up and just glare your inequities out, right? Now we know that you're not tracking, right? So lock in
I am
because you're
tracking. It seems
geeked
to
right
me you're
now.
not tracking.
Yeah, so when I say something,
because he's called you out on doing a shit hypothetical.
yeah, so jam book it. We assume that terms like can, can't, possible, impossible, those are going to be modal operators, right?
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, so modal operators are going to invoke modality, aka a modal scope we're operating under, right?
Okay. Fine,
Yeah,
go
so
on.
when I say something's impossible, you might say, is it physically impossible? Right? Like it's physically impossible for you to fly, but it's not logically impossible that you can't fly because there's some possible world using possible world semantics, right? Where the nomological laws were such that you could fly, right?
How is consciousness physical?
Sorry,
That
dumbass.
doesn't
I'm not talking
solve
to you
the
yet.
problem.
What's up?
That doesn't solve the problem.
What's
Because all
the-
you've just said is, in another world, it could be possible. Now that's cool for the other world. That's not our world.
Who?
He's called
Wait,
you out and given a
wait.
shit
What's the
hypothetical.
argument that I made to
You're
claim
not
it was
wasting
this
time
world?
trying to explain the hypothetical.
Yeah, do you understand that possible world semantics don't capture willy-nilly fake worlds that don't exist, but they also capture our world and future states that we don't know about? Dumbass, right?
Future states. Again, future states. If it's not possible now, it's not possible to us, is it? Just because it could exist in the future.
Holy
it's not
shit,
helpful to us
bro.
now.
Holy shit. Is it impossible for us to calculate the perihelion of Mercury?
I have no idea. I'm not into science.
Oh,
I've
because
heard
we
it.
did
It's impossible.
calculate it, but
Tell me.
once we didn't calculate it. So for you to say it's impossible is just a misunderstand or to use an idiosyncratic definition of the word impossible or to not imply modal scope, right? In which...
You are half correct, but at the same time, it is now impossible. I just point out that you're correct about the Mercury thing.
Oh,
At the
cool.
point of time
Yeah.
of the Mercury
If
thing,
you want to
it was impossible.
quantify that now it's impossible, sure. I wasn't saying that.
You just did, because you just said at one point we couldn't calculate Mercury, now we can.
Yeah, I was
So at
I was
one
doing
point,
an
it was impossible to.
I was doing an internal critique of your construal of that semantic content, right?
Right, so let's now take it back to your example. It
Holy
is
shit,
impossible
bro.
to transfer your consciousness into a cow.
What
Is it better if they
what
were future?
modality was I invoking to say it's possible? Right? I was invoking logical modality, right? Which means all that means is to say that something logically possible is that it doesn't entail a contradiction. Now, does it
Doesn't matter
entail
if it's contradiction or not. You've invoked a hypothetical.
you're are you
that does not
are you
help the
doing this on
situation.
purpose? I'm informing you what it means, the words that I said, what they mean, and you said
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what you meant, right? Do we agree that it's important
I
that
did
people?
not say it does not matter what you meant.
Okay,
You're using big words saying, sorry,
then
sorry,
you're just acting like it doesn't matter what I meant because I told you what I meant, right?
He's called you out on your hypothetical, and you can't answer it.
Yeah. So listen, right? I'm gonna say it again. And I agree, and I believe you that you think it's important for you to understand what I'm saying. So I'm just going to say it one more time, right?
What do you mean? I think it's important that I understand what you're saying. What are you talking about?
I think that in order for us to make the mouth sounds and have the same mental content furnished by those mouth sounds, you need to know what I mean when I make the mouth sounds. Is that clear?
So what you're... So
whoa. Is that clear? Is that clear? Is that clear?
You're trying...
Is that clear? Is that clear? Is that clear?
You're just using
Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yeah, it's not clear. No, you're not making it very clear.
Yeah,
what you should have said was...
When I say something is badass or lit or fire, it's important for you to know what I mean by those mouth sounds, right? In order to furnish the mental content.
Why are you saying mouth sounds?
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy that you're admitting that you're not understanding, yet you interrupt me. Go ahead.
Why are you? Yeah, because you're using stupid words. Why are you saying mouth sounds instead of words?
Yeah, because obviously you didn't understand when I said words, right?
Well, I did. You're the one that's now.
Oh, okay. Then relay my
something simple.
Yeah, then relay my objection back to me. Go ahead.
Your objection back to you. Okay, you're saying that modally, which I don't know what that means.
I agree.
If something
I'll grant
is
that.
possible in the future, it is possible now. So you're asking.
I didn't say that. So yeah, okay, then now we understand where the contention is.
So you've just interrupted me.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
You've asked me to explain your point. Now you've interrupted me. I explained one part of your point, and then the second part was. There are several, I'm going to say forms, so it's like physically, logically, that something can be true.
Yeah.
You're saying that as long as there's no contradiction, it's fine.
Yeah. That's what
you're explaining the hypothetical. That's not the problem. He's called you out on having a shit hypothetical, right? What you've now started doing is using a bunch of words to describe basically nothing.
Yeah.
You're just trying to seem clever.
Okay, yeah. Okay, cool.
You're saying mouth sounds instead of words.
Yeah, because when I was trying to... Okay, so look, I was trying to communicate my idea to you, right? And I did it like twice, right? And it still didn't get through. So I was just trying to break it down into semantics. Oh, sorry. Yeah, but you got it. When you said it... Sorry, you interrupted me. You yeah, you did. Yeah, so when you relayed my objection back to me, you got it wrong. And when you got it wrong, I tried to interject and say you got it wrong, and then you called me out. Sorry, you interrupted me again, bro. Sorry, you interrupted me again. Sorry, you interrupted me again, right? Sorry, you interrupted me again, right? So when you relayed it back to me and when you got it wrong and I tried to interject, you called me out for interrupting you.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, would you like me to tell? Would you like me to tell you what you got wrong about it?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, so I never said, right? Never said that if something is impossible now, it's impossible in the future or whatever you said. I said, this is what I said.
No one said that.
Yeah, so I said... I'm
going to interrupt you to save time because no one said that.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so what I said was, I'm invoking logical modality when I say that it's possible, right? Now, for you to say that it's logically impossible, you would have to derive the contradiction in the proposition or the claim, right, that you can transfer consciousness between people and cows. Go ahead.
Is it possible right now? Logically?
Is it logically possible?
Logically? No, I've seen no evidence of that. Have you?
Oh, wow. Do you need to see evidence of something to be able to point out a contradiction in a premise?
I need to see evidence. It's not objective. It's not a contradiction. What do you mean contradiction?
Yeah, I mean a premise, a proposition and its negation in conjunction. That's what I mean. Standardly used in philosophy.
Okay, instead of using a bunch of words to describe nothing here, let's ask this very simple question.
Yeah, so then I'll try and say it again, right? No, a contradiction is going to be a logically false statement.
Transferred.
Huh?
Do you have any evidence that consciousness can be transferred? Because if you can give me some evidence, I'll go, okay, fair enough.
I'm not saying it's nomologically possible, right? That's what you're not getting. Do we understand that?
What is nomologically possible?
According to the physical laws, right?
Okay, so are we following the physical laws then? Are we in agreement we are following the physical laws?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's called you out on your what's it called?
And we've agreed that objection was dumb, right? Because I was invoking...
It was not dumb, because you've not been able to describe it.
Yeah.
You've just said,
well, me being able to describe it and you being able to understand are two different things, right?
By the physical laws, we cannot transfer consciousness. So his objection that your hypothetical is shit.
Yeah, and if I would have said if I would have said physical modality or nomological modality, that would have made sense, right? But it wasn't that. I said logical modality, so it was a brain dead response, right?
It wasn't, because you've still not explained it. You're just saying logical modality. You're just pivoting between in different modalities.
What does it mean
The
for
thing is,
What does it
Go
mean,
on,
Jim? What does it mean for something to be logically impossible? Go ahead.
logically impossible.
Yeah.
Well, not possible. It's the exact opposite of possible.
Holy shit. Uninformative again. Are we on the tautology train again? What it means for something to be impossible is that it's not possible? Are you trying to furnish vacuous content? Right.
What does impossible mean? What does impossible mean?
Yeah. Logical impossibility means that it entails a contradiction. That's what it means. Right? Now, Jam, what does it mean for something to be logically impossible?
To use your wording to entail a logical contradiction.
Fact, right? Now, is there a logical contradiction entailed in a human's consciousness occupying the body of a cow? Obviously
Yes.
not, right? What's the P and
Yes,
not
it
P?
is.
What's the P and not P?
Because logic.
What's
you
the
said
P and
logic,
not
yeah?
P?
How would we do it? How would we do it? Logically, how
Oh,
would we
that's
do
an
it?
that's
Is
an
it possible?
yeah, that's an epistemic question. I said derive the contradiction,
You're
right?
just pivoting. You're just using different words to pivot from the start.
Yeah, I don't care about
Are
your
we able-
characterization. Yeah.
Are we able to transfer consciousness? Yes or
Did
no?
I say that we could do it, or did I say it was not logically
Your
impossible?
hypothetical is if your mum is the brain of a cow, would you eat the mum? That's your hypothetical.
Did I
so my question
say-
is simple, yes or no?
You're
Are
not
we able to
tracking.
transfer consciousness?
You're not tracking, right?
I'm not tracking. It's a simple yes or no.
Do you trust me that? Do you trust me that I know what I'm saying more than you do?
No. I've just explained.
You think that
using
you know?
simple
You think
words
that? So
to
just to be
confuse one. You're
clear,
just trying to sound clever.
just to be clear, you think that you know the point I'm trying to make better than I do?
Mate, I'm not gonna lie to you. I can barely follow because you keep using 5 words instead of 1.
Yeah.
Less is more, my friend.
So we've agreed, right? That's for something to be logically impossible. All that means is that it entails a contradiction, right? Now, you made a claim. There's a claim on the table. You said that it entailed a contradiction for a human consciousness to be in the body of a cow. Now,
Yes.
would you like to substantiate that claim by deriving the contradiction?
I will derive the contradiction.
Cool.
Yeah?
What I
Is it
hope to hear
Is
from
it
you.
possible?
What I hope to hear from you.
Contradiction
What
is
I
it's
hope
not
to hear from
possible.
you. What I hope to hear from you is a proposition and its negation in conjunction. Go ahead.
Okay. Proposition here. It is not possible to transfer the brain between two things, right? That is the contradiction here. You
Oh,
can say
that's just-
logically. Okay, cool. Logically,
Do
physically.
you know what begging
it's
the
not
question
possible.
is?
Is it possible? Tell me if it's possible.
You know what begging the question is? You just did it.
Just explain.
Yeah, I asked, what's the contradiction entailed, aka why is it logically impossible? And your response was to say, because it's impossible, right? We understand that's begging the question.
Okay, how would you do it? Logically, how would you do it?
That's an epistemic question. Slow
That's
boy.
part of how it's done. You're saying logically, yeah? So logically, someone could say, if I said, I'm going to the shop, you would think, okay, you're going to go out your house, turn, blah, 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 right? You said transfer consciousness. So logically, how would you do it? If you can't tell me how you would do it, and then if it's possible, then that is the contradiction here.
Yeah, so a proposition is going to be a contradiction is going to be some P and not P. Some claim and the opposite of the claim at the same time in the same sense, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to be charitable here, and I just need to ask you a clarifying question. Do you think that I'm making the claim that it's possible right now to switch consciousnesses between humans and cows?
It doesn't matter what you're making. The point is, he has called you out
That was a
on the
question.
hypothetical.
Hey, Jam, are you allergic to clarity?
Are you allergic to actually following what's going on?
I asked you a
'Cause it doesn't matter.
fucking question, right?
It doesn't matter if
Answer
you
my
think it's
question.
possible or not.
Do you think that I'm making the claim that right now it's possible to do that? Yes or no?
No, I don't think you are. No.
Cool.
Yeah, but that doesn't change the fact that your
Yeah, he's
argument
called you out.
doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, so
He- the-
Zaka,
the
it says
premise here is
sorry
you-
Jam,
you
sorry
don't
Jam.
want to shut up
Sorry Jam, you agreed that you're not tracking. So Zaka, maybe you're more acquainted with like philosophically robust senses of impossibility and modal scopes and stuff like that. So do you know
Because
You just don't- you're not
is your
following.
argument objective or not?
You're not following. Because
by
he's called you out on
objective
it.
by
I'll
objective
answer it for you. It's not objective. So.
Oh wait! Then why
and-
ask
and
the
it's
fucking
just
question,
based
right?
on your
Yeah. So
imagination of
let
what
me
can happen in the
just speak for
future.
myself then.
We're not
Let
living
me
in the
just speak for
future,
myself
so
then, right?
that's
Because
why
you
I
asked me a
have
question,
to-
then you answered it, right?
Well, I don't have to adapt to what will happen in 100 years from now on, or 50 years
I didn't
from
say
now
it would
on,
happen
or
50 years
1,000
from now.
years
I didn't
now
say
on.
that.
So why are we talking about some future?
Do you know what a counterfactual is? Do you know what a
installations that will
counterfactual
be
is?
done in the future?
Do you know what a counterfactual is? Do you know what a counterpossible is? Right? I was giving you a counterpossible.
Yeah, but I don't live in a world
You
where
do?
we can't
You do know what a
transfer
counterpossible is?
consciousness. Why will I have to face
Holy
the
shit, bro.
consequences of that
Holy
possibility?
shit, right?
You've not. Look, the
Yeah,
problem
so-
is he said your
yeah.
hypothetical is shit. You have yet
Cool.
to counter
Hey
that your
Jim, hey
hypothetical
Jim,
is
hey
shit.
Jim, you're getting emotional, right? So
mean,
let me
you-
just get.
so
Maybe I
what
can
I'm
provide.
saying,
Maybe
you
I
make
can
no
provide a
sense.
clarifying example. Let's say, Jam, that you said, I think it is immoral to, like steal from. Let's say that you said, right, that. Let's say that you said that, like, it's immoral to steal red Starburst from 7-Eleven, right?
Okay.
Cool. And I said, right. I said that. Oh fuck, no, because we're talking about impossibility. Okay, so let's say that you said.
Keep up, slow coach.
Well,
Can I just-
I'm trying to go way off base here to like come up
You're
with an.
emotional. You can't call me emotional because I've just called you slow coach. Something you've been calling everyone else slow the whole time. Yeah. When it's called back to you, you're trying to defend yourself against the accusations instead of just letting it go past you. You're the emotional one.
His argument is.
Well, I mean, I agree
so
that I'm
unlikely
emotional,
that you
but
can't even find
I agree that
something
you're
that's
emotional
similar
too.
to
Like,
it.
obviously, this is like. I mean, I assume that you're vegan, right? So obviously, this is a very passionate subject, right?
You're spending more time defending yourself than actually arguing, mate. I don't get what you're doing.
Yeah.
So
So.
please continue with your I'll let you off this one. Continue with your 7-Eleven Starburst example.
But
Yeah,
just real
so-
quick,
yeah, so-
just real quick, even if what he's saying is impossible, does that mean that he can't like still answer?
The problem is not that it's impossible. The problem is that Zaka has called him out on his hypothetical. So that's now the premise wins. So at first it was, this is the hypothetical. He's now changed the premise to, your hypothetical is shit. That's now what we're trying to answer here.
I've debated many vegans. I've never had argument that makes no sense like that.
Okay, see, like I don't.
5 words to explain one thing. I don't know
I
why.
don't-
He's just trying to sound clever. I'm not going to lie to you.
I don't know if I'm just like so below this conversation that I don't know what's going on, but it's just like a hypothetical, right?
Exactly.
Even if it's impossible,
Yeah, it's
he
a
can still
hypothetical.
answer it.
It's to
It is
take
hypothetical, yes.
it's to take a value that you purport to care about and stress test that against a consistency test, right?
It is, but then if it's not possible in real life, what's the point of that?
Okay, but can I give you
Oh
an
my
example?
God.
Can I try to give one? It might be a little wonky.
Yeah, go ahead.
Might be. So, like, let's say that you gave me the position that you wanted. You could just like hit anybody whenever you wanted. You could just like ball your fist, hit somebody whenever you wanted. And then I asked you, that's a weird position, man. What if it was your mom? And you were like, well, my mom's in prison, so that's I can't hit her, so that doesn't matter.
Or my mom passed away.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though it might be impossible to hit your mom, you could still answer that. It's still a valid hypothetical, right?
But, I mean, isn't it more logical to use actual arguments that are possible in this world? And not like make up some like superpower shit or like
Zach,
transferring
the reason
consciousness. I mean, that's
why
not
we have to
possible in
resort,
this
right?
timeline.
The reason that we have to
Yeah,
resort
like,
to that is because you invoke
maybe
species, right?
I actually thought you would come with better arguments. Like, I understand that the vegan point of view is like, I don't think this is right, and therefore you shouldn't think this is right either. But you guys don't understand that everyone has different moral compasses, and if we follow the actual hierarchy of the moral compass, then humans are gonna be higher up than animals. They're always gonna be the highest up in terms of moral values.
Look.
That's just how
I
it
don't
is.
understand, right? Like, if you say that stealing is wrong, and I give you a hypothetical world where, like, you know, an old lady's having a heart attack, and you can steal, what is it? Like the portable, like, revive machines from a CVS, right? What is it? Yeah. If an old lady was having a heart attack and you could steal one of those defibrillators, right, and revive her, would stealing be wrong in that world? That's just, who cares if an old lady's actually having a heart attack right now, right? Or if that world exists, or like in the future if that world could exist, right? It's just to test your thing that stealing is always wrong. So if I can come up with a case, right, that could exist where stealing is not wrong, that's called a counterfactual. Does that make sense, Jim?
Well, so in the hierarchy, you can actually
I don't,
prioritize
Zach, 1
other
second.
bad things over
Yeah,
a
but
worse bad
yeah,
thing,
but
right?
I'm still trying to get through with this thing where, like, if you say stealing is wrong, and I say, what if you steal like $1 billion and donate it to charity? If your moral compass changes right there, then we found out that the statement "it's always wrong to steal," you were mistaken in thinking that you cared about that, right?
Yeah, but
Cool.
that doesn't make look. So what you're saying is, if I think it's wrong to steal and I end up stealing, that means I think it's not wrong to steal.
That's not
Is that what you're
exactly.
saying?
No, that's not exactly it.
To be fair, that's not what he's saying. What he's trying to say is there is a baseline that is then true throughout any sort of situation. And the problem he's just given is that he's given two very real situations. The problem earlier was the situation was not realistic at all, which then does not help the situation. Because
Okay.
if my mum is in the conscience of a cow, that's a completely different situation.
Okay,
You see what I'm
then
saying?
let me try and bridge the gap then. So let's say that instead of the old lady having a heart attack, right, it was like a human mechanical hybrid. Let's just imagine like 500 years in the future, right, where, like, you know, we have AI interfaces in our body, and her brain chip was, you know, malfunctioning, causing her to have a stroke or something, right? And inside a CVS, you could get this like chip that would reset it. Would it be wrong to steal that chip?
Again, this is half an impossibility, but also in the real world, it's my mum, so I would do it.
Yeah,
Yes,
but
technically it would be wrong to do it, but I would still do it. Now, what you're trying to say to
Cool.
apply that to if we end a cow, that's wrong, and then if my mum is in the cow, would I end the cow? That doesn't solve the problem.
yeah, but
It could still be wrong to end a cow, but now it's my mum, so it's completely different.
yeah,
It's
but
also, again, it's
I
a
only
completely not real situation.
I only brought that up to say that situations that seem unlikely, like humans having like enhancing brain chips or something, just because that's not happening now, doesn't mean we can't ponder over the moral implications of what that might look like. And
We could ponder. but
okay,
that's
so
completely
wait,
different. That's
damn,
completely
what
irrelevant
are
to what's
we
happening right
doing?
now.
What are we doing when we have these conversations with people who eat meat, except for getting them to ponder over their moral system? What are we
That
doing
is
except
true.
for that?
However, if you give them a ridiculous hypothetical, that's not going to help. That's just going to turn them away. 'Cause
Yeah,
they're gonna think
and
this
then if
person's
you
crazy.
interrupt, right, and then start fighting with me about that, is that going to help?
Yes, because I'm
It is
giving
gonna
you a shit
help?
hypothetical. He's giving you a shit hypothetical. He's called you out on the hypothetical. You were still trying to go ahead of your
Yeah,
train of
is
thought,
the
blah, blah.
grandmother
He called you
is
out.
the
You were
is
then
the
ignoring him.
is the grandmother with the brain chip an impossible hypothetical?
At the moment, yes.
Yeah, I didn't say at the moment. Right. I didn't say
Only
that
live
right.
in the moment.
I didn't
don't know
say
the
that.
future.
I said, is that an impossible scenario? Simplicator.
Yes, we can't put chips into our brains.
Just to be clear, I'm not saying right now. I'm saying, is it impossible to ever obtain?
I don't know. You
Cool.
don't know. We don't live in the future.
Cool.
No one knows.
So if we don't know, right, then in order to say that it's impossible, we'd have to invoke some contradictory entailment.
Is it possible right now?
I didn't say right now.
Right, so because right now it is impossible. All we can go off is right now. You're trying to say some sort of thing where if it's possible in the future, it's possible now, like it's time travel. That's not how real life works.
Okay, so let's say that in 500 years, right, there was a Schmolikoff sequel. You're saying you don't know whether that would be wrong?
I don't know the context, but yes, that would be wrong because that's the ending of life.
Oh, how is it wrong then? If it's not happening now, it's impossible to
I'll just
know.
explain. It's
It's
the ending
impossible
of
to know,
life.
right, Jam?
No, because you're asking me, is it okay to end life?
No,
That's what you're asking
no.
me.
I'm saying in 500 years from now, right? Is it possible that there's a Schmolikoff the sequel, right? That's more
Anything is possible. Wait, it's possible. We could all
cool.
drop
So
dead
when you say
tomorrow.
anything is possible, right? What do you mean there? Anything is logically possible?
I mean, anything is possible, but for the purpose of this debate, it's not relevant or even necessary to talk about.
For
it
the
'cause we don't
purpose
know.
of this debate, when I said impossible, I was invoking logical impossibility, right? So to bring up an example, if we
He
can't
didn't
do it
say
right
impossible.
now,
He said impossible.
yeah, and I
This
asked,
started
and I
with he
asked,
called
and I
out
asked what
hypothetical
modality he
impossible.
was invoking, right, when he said that word, right? Do we understand that impossible is going to be a modal operator?
I understand what you're saying. No one else looks at it like that.
No
All you've
one
done is
else,
you've done-
no
you've
one
then
else
broken
looks
down
at,
impossible
no
into
one
three
else looks at
different types.
impossible as being a modal operator.
Yes, we discussed this. Yes.
Cool. You think that's like a a commonly held view in philosophical discourse or no?
I have no idea. I don't know if it's
I agree that
philosophical.
I agree that you have no idea. I agree.
Yeah, thank you. What I do know is that if through every type of modality you try to explain it, you still lost on, because in every type of modality, it's not possible to transfer consciousness. This is what I'm saying.
I don't.
So saying, okay,
the reason. Well, you asked me a question, right? The reason that I don't understand what you're saying is because it's obviously false that it's logically impossible to do that. Because it's obviously the case that it's logically possible to do that. Because it's obviously the case that it doesn't entail a contradiction. And that's all that it means for something to be logically possible. Do we agree that that's an equivalent statement?
So what's happened is someone said it's impossible, and you've just literally been pedantic.
I'm not being pedantic. I'm being specific.
Specific to go logical, physical, which in all possibilities is impossible. You can't currently do that. You can try and say in the future you might be able to. It's impossible.
Wait, you're saying right? You're saying that a human consciousness occupying the body of a cow is impossible throughout all time, through all modal scopes?
I have no idea. Do you?
I agree that you have no idea. Of course I have an idea. Of course I know that it's logically possible if there's no contradiction. And sorry, I was still fucking talking, right? Of course I know. Of course, sorry. Sorry. Of course, sorry. Of course I know. Of course I know that it's logically possible. Of course I know that it's logically possible because it doesn't entail a contradiction. And that's all that it means for something to be logically possible, is that it doesn't entail a contradiction, right? So it's just tautological to say that something... Sorry, I wasn't done. It's just Sorry, I wasn't done. It's just tautological to say that something that doesn't entail a contradiction is logically possible. Do we agree?
Right, so you've just said that anything that's logically possible is completely irrelevant and meaningless.
I didn't say that. You're dumb.
Right, because you just said, everything is logically possible.
I didn't say that.
Anything could happen. You just basically described.
No, I didn't. You're not tracking. You're a slow boy. Obviously, contradictions aren't logically possible. Yeah.
Well, the point is, you've just said anything is logic. Basically,
I didn't say that. How many times do I have to say I didn't say that?
You just said you don't know the future.
How many times do I have to say I didn't say that? Listen, I said the kind of things that are logically impossible are things that entail contradictions, because that's all that it means to say something is logically impossible. Do we agree?
And what's the first thing you said about logically possible just now?
The first thing I said was that, of course...
You essentially said...
Wait, sorry, you asked me a fucking question. You asked me a question, right? I'll answer the question that you asked me. I'll answer the question that you asked me. You asked me what the first thing I said about logical impossibility was, and I'll tell you. I said... Of course that I know it's logically impossible, because I know that it doesn't entail contradiction, and that's all that it means for something to be logically impossible, is that it doesn't entail contradiction. That's what I said.
Right, and we've already established it does entail contradiction.
No, it doesn't, because you haven't derived the P and not P, the proposition and its negation in conjunction. Have we?
Is we cannot do it.
That's not a contradiction, dumb fuck. That's a claim. That's going to be a claim. That's going to be a claim. Right?
Well, then we can't do it. Can we transfer consciousness?
Is it possible? Of course. Logically possible, yeah.
Logically,
can we do it now? Can we do it now? No. It's even nomologically possible.
So it's not possible.
Wait, if you want to qualify and say it's not nomologically possible now.
You're just being pedantic.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about your characterization of my view, right?
Good to know. If you need to transfer your consciousness into somebody else right now, let's say tomorrow, is that possible?
No.
So it's impossible right now?
Yeah, right now it is. Who gives a fuck about that?
Right. So
no.
That goes right.
Oh my God, you've been missing this the whole time. How do you not...
You just said it's not possible.
I said, no. Did I say that? Or did I say it's not possible right now? It's not nomologically...
Your definition of possible
it's not,
is
no,
it
sorry.
could happen at any time. Your possible is it could happen at any time. That's cool.
That's not what I said, dumb fuck. That's not what I said. And I'll repeat it again, right? Logically possible is just going to be some proposition that doesn't entail a contradiction.
Okay, so... Would you say everything is logically possible?
No, contradictions aren't, because they entail contradictions, right?
Give me an example of something that would not be logically possible.
Yeah, it's not logically possible for a shape to have three vertices. It's not logically possible for a shape to have 3 vertices and 3 sides with angles that equal 180 degrees, and also have 4 sides and 4 vertices at the same time in the same sense. Do we agree?
Okay, give me another one.
Yeah, it's not possible for there to be an unmarried bachelor. Do we agree?
I would agree with that, yeah.
Yeah. So those are the kind of things that aren't going to be logically possible. Now,
Okay, so how does it apply to
now
our
my
current
my
conversation?
question is going to be: are we converging on an understanding of what I'm saying?
I've already summarized what you're saying.
And you got it wrong. I'm asking if you can do
I
it
did not
again to
get it
get it
wrong.
right. Hey Jam,
Can you
hey Jam,
transfer
hey
your
Jam, hey
consciousness
Jam,
tomorrow?
hey Jam. Did you claim that I said anything is possible? Did you claim that?
Yeah.
Did
And
I
you
just
said
give
that
you?
as well.
Did I just give you 2 examples of things that are logically impossible?
You
Did I
gave
do
me
that?
2 examples.
Yeah. So
Possible to
the
you
claim when you
means
said
it could happen at any time.
the claim when you said I said anything is possible was dumb fuck to say, right? Dumb fuck, right?
Also, you only give me one example. The unmarried groom, yes, that is logically possible. The first one about the sides, that's physical.
Oh my god.
what if it could be possible in the
brain
future?
dead.
Yeah, that's it. What if it could be possible in the future?
You know what an
Going
analytic?
up to the 5th dimension, whatever.
It's like he said about the consciousness transfer.
Do you know what an analytic
to
truth is?
cows. So then it's not logical possible.
Yeah, Jam. Do you know what an analytic truth is?
I don't know. Could you tell me?
Yeah, it's going to be something that's true in virtue of the meanings of the words. And the reason that the reason that a married bachelor is impossible is because it's just going to be analytically true that a bachelor means an unmarried man, right? So
What if they change the name?
then that
Yeah,
that wouldn't be covered under the definition of contradiction because contradiction
what you open up is that possible to mean
because contradiction specifies at the same time in the same sense, right?
So let's say in the future the word groom changes to mean a married man. So we said a married groom. Would that then still be logically impossible?
No, because contradiction covers that when it says at the same time in the same sense.
You see, you contradicted yourself.
No, I didn't, dumb fuck.
Why'd you make your voice deeper?
Just for the lulls.
Oh, very funny, nice.
Thanks.
See, you just literally. Thank you for this explanation on logical stuff. I actually kind of enjoyed it a lot, but you've just pivoted.
No, I haven't.
That's all you've done. You've just broken down what impossible means.
Yeah,
And
logic.
you still lost on every single angle.
But
Like,
specifically, I've broken down what logical impossibility means, right? And if you can't give me an example like the squared circle, why? Sorry, I keep getting muted. Host, are you muting me, or it says mods are muting me? But so unless you can give me an example like the squared circle, right, or the married bachelor, in the case where a human's consciousness is in the body of a cow, it's just going to be the case, right, that it's logically possible because there entails no contradiction. And that's all it means for something to be logically impossible, is that it entails a contradiction.
right, so you've just. I see what you're saying, right? And we can give you a small win on that point. However, impossible, you said entails free. So logically, okay, that could potentially happen, but it's not going to happen because that's not real life. Physically, it's probably where we need to be logically consistent, which we are not. This is like logically, you can admit that, okay, if it's in science fiction, let's say Star Wars, lightsabers, okay, they could logically, possibly exist. We can give you on that one, but physically they can't, which still makes
Wait.
your argument complete nonsense when he's called you shit.
Wait, what's the argument that lightsabers couldn't nomologically exist?
Because they exist in Star Wars.
Oh, okay, so New York City doesn't exist because it exists in Spider-Man? Are you dumb?
What?
Yeah, you said
What?
you said things that exist in fictional media can't exist in real life.
I didn't say that. I said they could exist.
You said they could exist?
I said they could exist, yes.
So lightsabers could exist. Okay, then we agree. I don't know why. Like, why'd you say that?
Like
Because on the logic,
New
yes.
York in the fictional movies doesn't exist in itself, but it's based off the actual city that exists in our world.
Very,
So what you said
very,
about transferring
very.
consciousness, in sci-fi it exists. So we can logically go, okay, maybe. The problem is that does not help us, because if I need to transfer my consciousness tomorrow, I couldn't do it. So whether it can logically exist or not does not matter at all. It's about if it physically is possible.
but we agree now finally that it's logically possible.
No, not right now, no.
Wait, so when you said that I had the W, right? What was that about? Because I thought that
On
you
the
said.
on logically existing, I can agree with your saying thing.
Okay,
that
so
things
we
couldn't
agree
logically
that it's
exist.
logically possible for the brain and the human.
Logically, yes, that does not make
Okay,
it
so
possible.
that was my full claim that it's logically possible.
Right, that's he's called you out on it because that's not helpful.
I don't give a fuck about you thinking it's helpful. I give a fuck about whether it's true or not. And you just admitted that it was true.
Because if it's logically possible, does that make it true?
Of course not, dumb fuck.
Right, so when he said that's a shit example, it's not possible, and you said, well, it's logically possible.
I was right.
Saying,
I was correct.
True, right, so he still called you out on your shit claim.
It wasn't a shit claim that I said it was logically possible and it turned out to be logically possible. That's a true claim.
It's not, because he said this is a shit example, and you said...
Okay, that's his opinion about my true claim. That's his opinion about my true claim. Do we agree that my claim was true, right? We finally agree?
Your claim, what was your claim?
Your morals
my claim was that it's logically possible, right?
That is a claim, but we've just established that logically possible means very little. There's very little value in that. Physically possible is where the value is, which it is not physically possible to do at the moment.
Okay, I'm agreeing that you value like nomological impossibility over logical. That's fine, but that's just going to be like a value judgment that you make, right? We could have different values. All I'm saying, and all I've been saying, is that when I claim that it's logically possible, and I'm using that logically possible world to stress test somebody's normative ethic, that what I'm doing so in a logically possible way, and when I say it's logically possible, it's true.
Which holds no value.
To you
can
maybe.
argue on value, but it's nothing. This is like me saying, do you know what? I think it's going to be sunny. Okay, now yes, it could be sunny. I think it's sunny. It's true to me. It holds no value to the rest of the world. So I'm saying it's physically possible, which is where we need to discuss.
Is it logically possible that the sun disappears one day?
Well, apparently we know it's going to happen, so it's going to explode, apparently.
So, is it logically possible for the sun to disappear one day?
Anything is logically possible, my friend.
Except for what? Anything logically possible except for what?
The two things
except for things that entail contradictions, right? Things that entail logically false statements, right?
Okay, I'll go with that. Okay, yeah.
Okay,
Anything is possible except for where it entails a contradiction, yeah.
Cool. And we agree that my example to stress test Zaka's normative ethic didn't entail a contradiction.
Logically, no.
Okay, cool. So when I said let's use this logically possible world to stress test your normative ethic, you said that I was saying something false, and it turns out I wasn't.
I was not, because I said it's impossible. You then went down the line of, let's call it a fallback of, well, it's logically possible. Now, look, we're getting confused here, because your hypothetical, okay, let's put it this way. You asked hypothetical. That is valid, okay? I'm going to give you asked hypothetical. We go along with it. That's valid. Zaka has then come back at you and said, do you know what? That's a shit hypothetical. He's called out your hypothetical. Your response was, well, logically, it's possible. Now, we've just established that logically possible is a very weak and very low value argument, but you're going to be right on it because there's very few things that are not logically possible. So you've basically got a fallback of, well, it's logically possible, and you're not hiding behind that. What he's calling you out on is the physical possibility of it, which is currently physically impossible to do.
Cool.
And all you've done is you've hidden behind is logically possible.
Yeah, and if I was invoking physical modality or nomological modality when I made the claim, that would be a defeater, right? I would be so embarrassed, but I wasn't doing that, right? I was just saying, basically what I was saying is like, let's grant everything we need to just hone in on this thing that you claim to care about, which is species. And first we did that by saying, if some things look like humans were a different species, would you eat them? And he said no. So it doesn't seem like being a different species is what he cares about. Then he said that they look like us. So I said, what if they had the same experience but didn't look like us, aka a cow with human consciousness? That was just to isolate that single trait to see if that's what he actually cared about. And the reason that we never got a clear answer is because you interrupted me to argue for an hour just to end up conceding that I was correct. That's what wasted time.
Logic, but he called you out on the physical.
No, actually he didn't, because when I asked him what modality he was invoking, you bloviated for an hour instead of letting him answer.
Okay, but all right. Is it logically possible for humans to eat animals as a need and not as
Yeah.
like, yeah. So I mean,
That's how quick that conversation should have been. When you asked if it's logically possible to eat it as a need, yeah.
yeah. So you're
Cool.
saying it's logically possible for a human to eat an animal as a need. So
Yeah,
then
but
humans in
but that's going to
reality
contradict
need
what you said earlier when you said, right? You said that you don't need to eat animals to survive.
No, but he's now asking, is it logically possible that we would need to eat animals to survive? Which
Yeah,
then makes it
yeah.
true across the board.
Yeah, I get that, but I'm saying
Yeah, so then it shall make it right then. It's because it
wait,
will
Jam
happen.
Bucket, what are the things that
because
what
it's
are the
logically
kinds of
possible
things
right
that
now.
can't be logically true again? Logically possible?
Anything that has a contradiction.
Yeah, so when I just pointed out a contradiction with his previous claim, what was I doing there?
That's his previous claim. The
Okay.
claim itself has no contradiction. That he's just said two things. That's
Yeah,
him making
so
himself a
Zaka-
contradiction.
Zaka-
The logical thing does not have a
Sorry.
contradiction.
Yeah, whose side are you on, Jam Bucket? Right? I thought you were vegan, right? Yeah,
I'm not vegan, no. I just find you incredibly annoying.
Oh,
No offense.
that's fine.
You were right about what you were saying. I think you took the wrong argument against Zaka. I personally would have gone with when he said, if the cat steals from the shop, it doesn't matter who steals. We then make that a baseline of it doesn't matter what you kill. Killing is wrong overall. I would have gone with that. I think you went down the really annoying route where you went pedantic and then as with the whole logical thing.
I wasn't being
Unnecessary.
pedantic,
So I
right,
called
but-
you out on that. And then we just end up speaking for now. But I did learn a lot, so I do owe you for that one. I learned more about possibilities, which I do find quite fascinating. So I do have to thank you for that.
I appreciated the combo as well. I think if we're going based off comments, you definitely won that exchange, but I'm glad that I got the concession in the end. But
You got a conversation on logic, but then again, Zaka has half proved the logic wrong, but then again, logic is then very weak valued. So I think it's a bit of a hiding coward move, personally, but we have different opinions on that.
yeah, your characterization aside.
Label me all you want. So how's everyone doing?
Burke, I'm sorry.
So is it logically possible right now, currently, for humans to eat animals as a necessity, just like other animals?
Is it
Depending on where you are.
logically
Yeah, so do
possible?
you think it's right for those humans to eat animals then?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right, so you agree that eating meat is not wrong in general then?
Okay,
That's
so
not
you know
true.
how Neanderthals ate meat? They ate like raw meat and shit. We wouldn't disparage them either because they didn't have another option.
Yeah, okay, but what about like tribes that have adapted to the carnivore diet
What?
that can't use change in an instant?
Yeah, so what makes something morally bad to you, Zaka?
Morally bad. I follow the moral hierarchy, so I think it's
But
like I said
do you
earlier.
have
I
a
think
normative
killing
ethic?
a human is much worse than killing an animal.
Yeah, but do you agree that you could have $10 and I could have $1, but we could both have enough money to get a Coke from the vending machine?
Yeah, depending on what economy you're
Cool.
using.
So I would take moral value to be the same. I think that we have way more moral value than animals, but I think that both us and animals have enough moral value to not have our lives taken if we don't have to die.
Well, prices are factual, and your moral
Yeah,
values are
obviously,
subjective.
obviously it was a
Moral
metaphor.
hierarchy isn't subjective itself. It's based on something just like laws. It's usually
Wait,
based
you think
on laws.
the moral
I actually don't
hierarchy?
think this whole...
You think the
So, go
moral
ahead.
hierarchy is objective?
Wait, do you think the law is subjective?
Answer my question. Do you
Because
think?
it's-
Do you
because
think
it's
that
based on
whatever?
the moral
Sorry, you
hierarchy.
think that moral hierarchy is objective?
If it's based on law, yeah, and the moral hierarchy is based on laws.
Do you think that moral hierarchy is objective? Yes or no?
Yes, because it's based on law.
Okay. What do you mean by objective?
That is a fact. The law is a fact because it's something written. It's a law.
Okay, then that's
It's
just. I
not
mean,
just
I
your
wouldn't. I
opinion.
wouldn't.
It's an actual law in a government, so it's factual.
Okay, I wouldn't call that objective, but that's fine. We can disagree.
Okay, that's fine. But your subjective experience of your own moral values, you know that's different to everyone else on Earth, right?
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah. So
That's
why
what,
do you think? So just because you have a different point of view on moral values than other people do, how does that make it wrong
For them.
objectively to eat meat?
Well, I don't think I'm not an objectivist, right? I'm a subjectivist about morality, but
Then there's no actual logical argument.
To be fair, no, I can answer that one for him. So the whole vegan argument is
thank you.
there is now an option. There is now, like, plant-based has now become a suitable option that we can eat. We no longer need to. Obviously, you know, the animals go through suffering, and you know, regardless of whether you think animals. And I agree, animals and humans are different. We have superiority, but regardless of that, the animals are going through intense suffering and cruelty, and we now have the option to eat plant-based, and we don't have to put the animals through that. That's really the whole vegan argument here. So now there is a better option. There's also, you know, health benefits and other benefits to it. So it's why you're not taking the better option. That's really the whole vegan argument here.
Yeah, and I also agree with that. The industry is very unfair and that animals are being treated better. But if you're hunting for food, that's totally different.
Yeah, but
And that makes eating meat, when you hunt for it, then it makes it right.
yeah,
morally.
but so first of all, I don't agree. But second, that's gonna. So my initial claim was that I think that whatever, you know, normative ethic theory or whatever you care about, is going to commit you to veganism as well, right? So the kind of things that you care about might be like, you know, suffering or, you know, well-being or pleasure or pain or something, right?
I follow the law in my country.
Well, we'll put it this way.
Well, but obviously, right, you're not going to want to appeal to the law, right, as to why you think
But
it's
the law
okay.
is based on morals.
Sorry, I actually wasn't done. So you're obviously not going to want to appeal to the law when you say what kinds of beings you can take the life of, right?
The law tells you what.
The law tells you what
tells
is
you can't
moral.
kill animals to eat them. Yes.
Okay, so
If you have a permit, you need to have a permit here.
yeah, so whenever it was legal to like own people as property, you would say that nobody was doing anything wrong at that time.
So back
Answer
then
that.
people thought differently, and that will also be my opinion that it will be wrong, but that won't even prove
Morally
Cool.
it's wrong, but that's very contextual. That's the same as when people say when Germans went to war. It is morally wrong, but it comes down very much to context.
it was
What's the
illegal
context
in my
again? Because
country.
he said that what he cares about is if it's legal. So I asked him, in the case where it's legal to own property, people as
Legal,
property.
yes, but again, this comes back to the whole argument of now versus then. Back then, it was very different context.
Yeah, I'm
people
asking.
didn't have the
But I
same
don't
view.
look.
They
I'm saying
obviously
you,
got brainwashed.
when you ponder about the society in that time, if you know that the laws are situated such that you can own people as property, are you going to say that
Yes, but
people
at the same time, we have
jam? Sorry, are you going to
Okay, John, I'll
say
let you continue.
yeah? So are you going to say that people who are following the law and owning people as property were doing something that was morally good?
Of course, it was morally wrong. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, but
asking
I don't
Zaka.
think the law right now is
I didn't ask that.
morally wrong.
But again, what I'm trying to say is it was different. So we'll take sort of.
Look,
we'll take
if you
Germany
think
in
I'm
the
saying that the
1940s,
law
right?
is the same now, you're not tracking. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if it's the law that makes something good or bad, then we can imagine different things that are legal and see if that's true.
Okay, but just because I agree with the current law right now in my country, does that mean I have to agree with past laws in other countries and
No,
current
but
laws in other countries right now?
what that does mean is
Yeah,
that it,
exactly. So
yeah,
what-
so
what do
sorry.
you wanna prove?
No, but what that does mean is that it doesn't seem like the law is the stance of morality you take. It seems like what you value, because you value the law right now.
But my country actually has one of the best moral laws and rules.
Cool. And if it was
I don't think
law in
there's
your country to
actually-
be able to, I don't know, stomp on babies, would you think that that's morally good, or would your moral intuitions
No,
differ from the
because
law?
I don't
Okay,
think it's
so
right
so we agree that you don't follow the law.
harming anyone for no reason.
Yeah, so we agree that you don't follow the law for morality. The law right now just happens to coincide with what you think is moral.
I use the law for a lot of moral values.
I think
yes.
that you're just
Because it's
intentionally
based on
trying to.
reasonable moral values.
And also, actually, what's wrong with that? Because you said you follow the law that you believe to be moral, which I don't see an issue with that. If he believes that to be moral, and that's his from his experiences and what he believes in,
Yeah.
of course there might be some laws that are quite bad for you, but if that's what he believes in, then what's wrong with that?
I
Like,
think
obviously,
Well, what's wrong with
Obviously,
that?
I don't agree with all laws in my country.
Cool.
Like I don't think it should be legal to burn religious books, for example.
Yeah, so when you say that you get your morality from the law, you just mean like the law generally aligns with your morality, but that's not what really, dictates your morality. It's the values that you have, the intuitions you hold, the intentional states you have, right? Stuff like that.
But there's still a lot of things that the majority of humans can agree on that are actually reasonable moral values, such as that we should value humans higher in a hierarchy, and that if we have to kill animals to eat them, and if we want to kill animals to eat them and do it in a rightful way, then it's morally right. That's how.
Okay, then my question is just going to be the very first question I asked, which is,
if not more,
what makes it morally right to take the life of something that doesn't want to die when you don't have to do that?
I think it's also
that's a question.
That's a question. Right, you think it's morally wrong for humans to kill animals to eat them, right? In a rightful way.
If they don't have to. If they don't have to, yeah, it's going to be unnecessary suffering that I have a problem with. Unnecessary suffering.
Yeah, but if I want to eat meat and it's legal in my country, I'll do it.
I'm not asking you what's moral. I'm asking what's the legal justification.
The legal justification?
No, the moral justification.
Because we have different moral justifications.
I'm asking what's yours. I can't be more clear.
Yeah, I've already answered that to you.
You said it's the law.
Times. I said I value humans higher than animals. So I don't agree with harming any humans at all.
Yeah, but why do you not agree with harming humans? Because you cause them harm?
Why will I agree with harming my own species?
Look, I'm asking you what's bad about harming humans. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, if I'm not going to eat them, which I'm not cannibal, right? So then I'm just harming them for no actual reason.
Cool. So you would say that it's wrong to harm humans because it's causing unnecessary suffering, right?
Yeah, just like I wouldn't harm any animal without eating them.
I wouldn't just
go on a rampage killing animals for no reason.
The reason, right? You don't want to say the reason it's because you would harm it without eating it because you wouldn't do that to humans, right? I'm saying, is the reason that you think harming humans is bad is because it causes unnecessary suffering?
Yeah, so I won't base it on necessity as a whole. I would base it on actual, reasoning. So, eating an animal, that's a reason to kill it, right?
I don't think it's a morally sufficient one.
Vegetables are available, right? But it is a reason.
I don't think it's a morally sufficient reason, no. But
yeah, but do you think it's a reason or not?
Yeah, I think it's a reason, but people can have bad reasons.
Yeah, exactly. So, what's your point?
I don't think it's a good reason, right?
Yeah, you don't think it's a good reason, but
I don't think. Yeah, but my claim has been that I don't think that you think it is either, right? And I've been trying to elucidate that.
What you're saying is, I don't think what you're doing is right, so therefore, it's not right at all.
Yeah, if only there was a whole field of study about normative ethics that could address things where people have disagreements about what is moral. But I'll just say this, right? So disagreements about what is moral. But I'll just say
a lot of people agree that